I recently went to a Bates Eyesight Improvement Conference, the British National Eyesight Conference. One lady was telling us how her whole life was a strain. She had quite strong myopia, I think -6 probably in both eyes, something like that. And she had been practicing Bates' method. She'd gone to a teacher and had lessons and managed to get some good clear flashes. So she knew that it was working. But her problem was that she didn't want to go around without the glasses because most of the time she wasn't having clear flashes and it stressed her out not being able to recognise people. And so she had stopped doing Bates' method. And this is a problem for a lot of people. How do you bridge that gap between being able to get a little bit of clear vision occasionally and being able to do it often enough so that you don't have to keep putting your glasses back on? I don't know the answer to that, but I know we all have a lot more stress and strain in our life than we appreciate, and I know I do. I keep being confronted with evidence of it that I'm most of the time unaware of. You know, you suddenly realise that your hand's all clenched up and you unclench it, and 10 seconds later you realise you've clenched it again. I'm dreadful at driving. I'm always holding onto the steering wheel. I get anxious because I don't like speed. And so that's a stress factor for me, which is a bit hard to avoid, really. Relax, enjoy the speed. Ah, but I didn't see that car coming. Well, if you have a slow brain, I think that's one of the contributing factors. But the thing about releasing strain is it's an ongoing process, and I think you have to keep picking away at it, like a big ball of string full of knots. You untie one knot, and then you find there's another knot, and then you find there's another one. And it feels like you're not making any progress, but if you keep at it, and sometimes the knots retie themselves, but you just keep patiently untying them, and eventually you get them all undone. It's good theory anyway. I take my dog walking every morning, and he's a wonderful metaphor for vision improvement. Vision improvement involves not your eyes, but your brain. And your brain is a bit like a dog in your head. So I've got this young dog and I want him to obey me. I throw the ball and I want him to bring it back and give it to me. Sometimes he will. A lot of the time he just wants to run off with the ball. Now if you think of the dog as your eyesight that isn't doing what you want it to do, you look at something and it doesn't go into focus, it goes out of focus. Or maybe you've got an eye that wanders and you try and get it in line with the other one. Now if you shout at the dog won't come back. I see so many people in the field, their dogs are way off in the distance and they shout, whatever the dog's name is, Rover, 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 over and over again. And the dog never comes back to them. And in the end they get annoyed and they march up to the dog and yell at it even louder, grab hold of it. The dog is not impressed. The dog never learns. Same with your eyesight. You can't get angry and force it. You need to approach it in a sort of sideways manner. So with the dog, I pretend I don't care. I turn the other way. And the same with eyesight. You look at a page, it's out of focus. Don't keep trying to force it to come into focus. Just look away. I don't care. And then just glance back to see if anything's happened. And if you've been practicing Bates' method, often as not, you'll find that this looking away and looking back will be enough to help the focus.